So lawyer answer, yes and no. Not what people hope it does. And I actually saw some social media discussions on this morning too. And, I put together actually a short video on my site talking about how the federal courts work, but the basic gist for everyone to know is that court decisions are only binding downward. And so there's trial courts or district courts throughout the nation. They can actually reach inconsistent decisions. And so what a judge in Wichita, Kansas says might be different than what a judge in Kansas City says looking at the same laws. So this case came through Texas, and so it's not binding on any of our courts here. So in Kansas and Missouri, it doesn't mean that any of those judges have to follow that or that they're going to be bound to do what this judge in Texas did. But it is persuasive. So there is some positive effect to it in that, judges will often say, okay, I read this decision in Texas, I agree with this logic, so I'm going to make an independent decision based on what that judge said. But it's not binding and they're not required to. And so it's not what I think some people hoped when they saw that this morning, the ban is lifted. That's not true, but it's one step in the right direction. It's a positive decision. And hopefully, and kind of this is one thing I said this morning too, the current ban right now expires the end of March. Now, I know that Biden said he was going to extend it through, I believe, October in some of his campaign materials when he first came into office, but it hasn't been yet. So maybe this decision helps weigh on them to just let it expire at the end of March because they don't want to deal with legal challenges and things like that and not extend it further, because we've also seen a big drop in COVID numbers and everything else. So I think it's positive. It's definitely not just a blanket win, unfortunately.